Also on the programme, a warmer world. The last 7 years have been the hottest ever, according to new climate data. The past 7 years have been the hottest on record, according to the EU's Copernicus climate change service, which said they were the warmest by a clear margin since 1850. Now, last year was the 5th warmest year, with record-breaking heat in some regions, and levels of carbon dioxide and methane hit new heights. Our climate editor Justin Rolat examines the data for us.
What a way to see in the new year. Almost 1,000 homes were destroyed and tens of thousands of people were forced to evacuate as some of the worst wildfires ever seen in Colorado swept across the state.
Coming down this road, the ditches and things and the trees, they're all up in flames, like there's embers everywhere.
It looks like 2022 is set to continue the trend of extreme weather we saw last year.
Extreme events are likely to become more intense and more frequent, and we saw many examples of that. Within 2021, there were the devastating floods in Central Europe that we saw in July, and also the extreme heat wave that we saw across the world in June in Canada and in July in Sicily.
These latest temperature figures confirm that Europe experienced its hottest summer on record. The global data collected by European satellites shows 2021 was the 5th hottest year ever recorded. And, no surprise here, the concentration of warming gases in the atmosphere is continuing to rise, with record levels of both carbon dioxide and methane. The direction of travel is inescapable. Just look how temperatures have risen since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution 170 years ago. That, of course, is when the world began to burn fossil fuels on a really massive scale. And now look at the last 7 years. These latest figures show they were the hottest 7 years ever recorded, an average of 1.2 degrees centigrade above pre-industrial levels. And the bad news is a temporary cooling event in the Pacific Ocean actually lowered temperatures very marginally last year. That will soon pass, so don't expect any let-up in the warming trend in the years to come.
It sometimes feels when we've got complex big problems like this that there's very little we can do as individuals, but we do have a choice. We can have, make changes to our lifestyle to reduce our own greenhouse gas emissions, whether that's reducing the amount of meat and dairy that we eat, traveling less by flying, or, not taking the car as much and walking and cycling instead.
The pact agreed by world leaders at the International Climate Conference in Glasgow in November aims to do just that, to cut global emissions. Today's confirmation of rising global temperatures is another reminder of just how urgent that action is. Justin Rolat, BBC News.